Welcome back to Hearthstone Lobby Legends, Magic of Azeroth, where we are possibly over the halfway point in this final stage of the tournament. Once again, we are playing the check format in this tournament, which means the first requirement for all of our players is to reach 20 points. Overall in a lobby. If you finish first, you get 7 points. If you finish 8th, you get 0 points. Already, we have one player on 16, one player on 17, right up at the top of the leaderboard. So they are both fairly likely to make it through to that 20-point threshold. And from there, once you reach that point, the only thing you need to do, easiest thing in the world in order to win the tournament, is win. First place is the only way that you can take down the tournament. And so things are going to really start heating up now after this lobby. Once Alicia and Ribapusa are very either at 20 points or very close to it, then the rest of our players are going to be walking on eggshells, just praying that they can take down the top dogs and potentially hard targeting them once it gets into the games and trying to just beat them in the early game before they can hit these kind of first place style compositions.
Yeah, and historically, remember, this is only the 5th Lobby Legends. Players haven't been very good at doing that.
Oh, really?
Person who's in front has been lucky getting a bit of a start as well. Don't get me wrong, like, Be Nice just killed everybody the second in the first Lobby Legends. The second he got to 20 points, that was just it. But players haven't been very good at targeting the leaders, targeting the players who can win the lobby. And because of that, I think we've had a 5, 2 6s, and a 7 in terms of length of final. And I will be interested to see if the players at the bottom there sort of gang up to, oh, I haven't got my 20 points yet, if they gang up just to take down the people who are in check and try and sneak their own points lobby by lobby towards their own 20 when we get there. But first of all, we've got to get there. We have seen people stall on 19 and 19 and a half before and come like 8th twice in a row. I think Alucard got really close and they just couldn't get over to the 20 for forever at some point. So not there yet, and let's say the bottom 3 come first, second, third now. Nobody gets to 20. This leaderboard will look a lot different going into Lobby 5.
Yeah, it will indeed. And again, as we say, if you just keep finishing first, no matter where you are, you will not be losing, because even if a player has already reached that 20-point threshold, you can just deny them that. You will be in with a chance, which makes for some interesting dynamics, right? Where it's not only the players at that 20-point threshold who will necessarily be going for these super risky strats. It's players like Zixo who also need to hit these first place kind of games in order to have a chance of denying their opponent the first place and getting up to that 20-point threshold in their own right. Zixo doing that is going to be going for Cookie, who is kind of interesting hero right now. Not, I think, valued quite so highly as it once was, especially as the curve can be a little awkward. Could be another 3-on-3 game for Zixo, which is one of those risky style plays.
As we see, Denathrius here taken over Flurgle, which has got a very high win rate, but Denathrius with the buff a couple of days ago, with the easier quests now coming in, or the normal quests now coming in on turn 1. A big buff that was. Hit this, then go back to talk about Zixo for a second.
Yay. 4 Battlecry minions. Okay, I didn't see the alley cat, but with that in there, that makes it make a lot more sense.
Yeah, for a Spectre, yeah, they've just made it nice and straightforward for Denathrius. It feels like it's even easier than average, but it can't be. But yeah, I quite like 3-on-3 still. I don't think most people do. I don't think it's definitely been solved that it's bad, though. And Cookie gives you an excuse to do that. So I actually quite like Cookie right now. You get that 3-drop, which 3 drops are pretty good, especially if you can get an Overseer or something like that, an Observer. There's plenty of good 3s out there. Something we haven't seen much of in all of our lobbies has been mechs. We haven't seen people sort of getting deflectos and stuff going on early. Too much else going on. As he gets his second death battle. It's his second battle cry here.
Unoffered in that, so that's going to be an easy not freeze in this instance, as half the lobby leveling on 2, half of them not, it seems like here, which is kind of expected. Murloc Homes, if you're not going for the level here, I guess you are anticipating that you maybe hit some kind of a double buy possibility with a couple of coins available, which I think may or may not be the case, or at least a good option picked up on Tavern Tier 1. Oh, okay, yeah, just a good tavern on both sides here, right?
Murloc Homes. It's really hard to sort of cast anything exciting about Murloc Homes, right? You get an extra gold every turn. most of the time. That's it.
Almost
Really nice,
like
powerful, etc.
Even for a noob like me, I was surprised how often you get it right. Especially in the early game. It gets a little bit tougher later on, but early game, it's very easy.
But later on, it's not so important either. The extra gold turns into an extra roll, which is still huge, but not as huge as it is. Let's see what 3 Zixo gets, if any.
We're looking at Demon for the Overseer, Mech for the Flecto bot.
And Beast for the famous 3-drop of 3.
Rat Pack? Not great, is it?
Don't even know, yeah.
All right, let's try and hit the Overseer. We need to see something big, and we end up with a 1, 2, 3 all demons. You know, I suppose technically does have to be the Amalgam, but I don't know. Are you walking away from this happy? You're going to tank a lot of damage, but it could be, again, a first place kind of minion if you get some help along the way.
This is nutty, though.
This is huge.
Because the last minion's always going to be a battle cry. He's going to have a lot of power going on. If he can get the Alley Cat to die last, which could well happen here, could end up with an early sort of Shudderwalk-esque triple. No, never mind. Straight up sniped.
This is better. He gets a triple now, right?
It's an insta-triple instead. Yeah, either way, it's going to be good.
He can go level, cell, level, triple? Oh, no, sorry. That's next turn. It's going to be 2 turns away. So you might have to take a little bit of a beating first.
Bribe. Red Hand. Red Hand's 18 gold. Plus you've got a level in the meantime. So you might as well take the bribe, right?
Really? I was kind of looking at Red Hand. Again, there is that kind of inherent synergy that you have between the Spectre and the Red Hand, as I said, where you don't have to leave anything in your hand because it puts it into your hand and then buffs it at the start of your turn.
Yeah. I think the bribe was just cheap enough because you're going to spend so much money leveling in the next couple of turns anyway.
Yeah. I do think I quite consistently undervalue Adam a bribe, to be fair. As is offered here again with beasts and something. What was the other option?
I didn't see.
Didn't quite see. But beast in the shop, that's still fine. Togwaggle on 6.
Heist.
Away, with a bit of a lackluster set of minions. Khadgar with limited synergy right now, and then a 1 and a 2 drop, and again the Cathy also with very limited synergy.
They say on 7 dragons or demons, evil twin.
Okay.
Holmes on the mirror shield.
35 golden mirror shield. Okay, yeah, that's doable.
Yeah, but how good is mirror shield this late?
I don't know, we've got Murlocs, which hasn't come up all too much. You get some synergy there.
If Murloc's doing this, that's fine, yeah.
Willbor's out, though, which definitely works nicely with Divine Shields.
Right. Having a look around the houses. Nothing totally different to the last lobby where everybody just had everything busted by about now. It's about where the last lobby kicked off. This one's much more of what we've seen most of the weekend, a bit of a grindy lobby. What's even happening in that shop?
Oh, wow. I mean, kind of unfortunate
what's even going on? Why there's Tabby Cat in the shop?
Well, it's Hess, right? But
yeah, it's great.
Kind of unfortunate that you get specifically the Tabby Cats and not the Alley Cats, which would help you to get another gold. But it's still okay. The question is really whether you want to go for 3 or 4 drop. You can definitely get away with holding off for another turn here, right?
Yep. And need to as well. Still on tier 2 on 7 gold, which is fine on Tess, of course.
The quest here for Torasan is play 5 Battlecry minions, and then you get Snicker Snacks to trigger their battle cries at the end of each turn, which, you know, there's some limited synergy there already with the alley cat, the Houndmaster, which probably is why we saw him push onto the Houndmaster instead of the Amalgam.
Yeah, it's going to be weird, right, though, because triggering the cats at the end of your turn means you're going to have 4 1/1s on your board if you're trying to set up just a pair, let alone a triple. It's going to be pretty gruesome.
Yeah, those could very well be gotten rid of soon. Just one more Battlecry minion needed, though. Okay, very, very doable here. Dixo looked like he took another loss there as well, right towards the bottom of the health totals at this point. Oh, okay, tripling into a 5-drop now here is Yun Chang. Definitely where you want to be if you're going for some beast synergy for Mama Bear, Crocolisk, the Lil Baby Crush. A lot of good stuff here.
Has managed to
not these.
Spend quite a lot of gold as well, which I thought was going to be difficult on this hero, but by picking up Relentless Cats, he's managed to get the economy reasonably well. And this is going to help so much. Getting that extra gold there to sell through.
Yeah, I didn't realize he'd lost the previous round. That does make a big difference.
Yeah, I didn't realize either, but he is going to, yeah,
really he's trying to turbo through the quest.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Me too. I thought he was going to take longer than this. So he is going to get it in time to not be a disaster.
We can... it's 7. Even if you go buy, sell, buy, you're still not able to quite get there. So it looks like it's not going to be until next turn that we see the quest come online, the Anima Bribe come online, right?
It's the Mirror Shield.
Oh, is it Mirror? Oh, apologies, I got confused. Yeah, right you are. Okay. Which is a nice stabilizer, right? There's a huge amount of tempo immediately.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he was going to get it for another couple of turns, but he just went straight for it. Found a way to get it done in pretty good time.
Right, Zixo walking away with a Bran here, though, which is, again, another one of those potential big stabilizers, even if it's an immediate big hit to tempo after it looks like he got the triple on the Amalgam. But, you know, again, currently little synergy. Not much that he's going to be able to make work with it right now, as he gets a very important hit to take out the Amalgam and only take 5 instead of 7 damage on this turn. But it needs to be immediate now for Zixo. He really cannot afford to lose much more health at all.
Yep, has got the bribe though, so synergy aside, this is one of those quests where you just buy and sell stuff. You've got a brand, you'll get to the point where you just buy anything with a battle cry and sell it and buy whatever gets buffed. It's not quite as easy as I'm making it sound by saying it like that, but you get the point. It should be okay to not have huge synergy until later on.
Well, there it is. Finally activates it with the 7th demon being played. That was a pretty clutch demon to actually find with the Mind Mark.
What choices now? Tad's fantastic here.
Oh, as is the
Explorer. Yeah, Explorer's actually ridiculous with Bran. Look at this. The amount of stats that's going to go into this shop after he
this
explores some reefs.
Oh, the primal
it's just infinite turn.
God. This is what we needed to see from Zixo.
Dwell. Another Tad, or do you want the top 2? I think I want to Tad it. I want to just go, yeah.
Agreed, yeah.
The state of this.
More stats from the Swolefins. You can just sell those with the Anima Bribe. This is such a big turn.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at the stats he's getting.
And War Leader's really, really good with Bribe as well, because obviously all of your Murlocs are now buffed when you sell them.
And I mean, already you can...
now.
Can you convince me what on the Anima Bribe?
About Bribe.
That was strong. That was very, very strong. And also, we get to see the difference between the servers, right? Because he was moving at lightning speed at the end there, which a lot of the other players may not have had access to.
Also true.
Which just makes it all the more embarrassing that he's
the only European, by the way, to get through.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where that Sotland Raven connection are for this tournament when you need them.
Oh, look at this. Not even close. Absolutely tearing this one apart.
And that's a Courteous. That's an early game Courteous. He's just torn apart. Bam. Wear these. Yeah, Zixo. From
Deflecto as well.
Deflecto is the last thing in the shop there will be quite entertaining, but what's going on with SSA with all this stuff?
Why has he got so many minions? Okay, just press
Mega Heist, yeah.
So he's got a lot of money to work with.
Use dragons or demons to complete the quest for an evil twin.
Dragons or demons? Okay. Well, he has a couple.
Yeah, I see a dragon and an amalgam. Yep.
An evil twin is good actually for him. Evil twin is a very nice one
Yes.
to complete.
Evil twin on mechs and elementals for me are found to be really good. I'm sure there's other examples, but the mechs usually have a divine shield, and the elementals tend to just be large. Yeah, you're evil twinning a 35-70 rock or something. It's not amazing, but it's fine. And obviously on mechs, it's nutty. He's got to get the buffs in the right places, which is why he's taking his time, making sure the thing he wants to be twinified is actually the thing he gets twinified.
There's a demon, but I believe he still needs one more after that in order to actually activate the quest. So we might see him hold off on that for the moment. Or maybe you still end up buying it, but of course you still try and keep the rest of your board as strong as possible in the meantime. Harvest Golem, kind of tempting to hold on to just for a guaranteed reset on the Deflectos. You do have that with the Death Rattled Annoyo module.
Just getting word that Zixo did take a low deflecto, sort of mid-teens, low teens size, rather than go for freeze and go for massive ones. Just playing sensibly.
Yeah.
Strong spot doesn't need to go crazy.
Similar to what we saw when he was on Anima Bribe with Daryl yesterday, when he was just going for sensible kind of plays, just mid-tier minions, which is enough to see you through to the late game, which is what he needs to do. Like, he cannot afford another 7th or 8th place and have a chance, really.
No, I agree. But a third or second, hopefully a win, but a first or second would be great. But even a third or fourth, plenty of points to get him still in there. But like you say, towards the bottom end, nah, it doesn't.
Yeah, a third starts to make it look like a possibility.
This is just a wipeout, by the way.
Wow, just dead.
That's Alicia-san, so we might be going to
big.
Another lobby. Yeah, it's on Ribapusa and Alex now to try and get to check. Otherwise, we might be going to lobby 5 with nobody putting the lobby in check, which would be pretty amazing.
Double Primal Fin offered? Like, I know you have 0 Murloc inclinations whatsoever, but that always hurts to pass up. Like, I can't look at that and see him roll past it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing here for Tora-san, who has got a decent baseline power level, but the scaling is really not there. Like, double Big Fernal, that's not quick enough.
Battlecry is the end of turn Battlecry quest, apparently, so at least this thing will be eating something from the shop, but...
True. Double its stats as well, it's pretty big.
I think here, and again, you're on Tessie, you don't need to panic, but I'm tempted to try and get to 6 here and go looking for Fellbats as quickly as possible with an Overseer on my board and some fairly big demons already. While I'm on 40 health, because that's going to start going wrong soon either way.
All right, 6-0 again. Trying to stabilize here, getting an activation on the Cookie Mind Mark is one of the cards you would be probably happier to see.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you would love to see the Hydra in the shop, as that is one of the biggest mummies I've ever seen in my life. But getting the Hydra in hand is not really good enough without Anima bribing it.
Yeah, but getting into the shop, as you say, the second that's going to turns up, Zixo's just going to get a giant Hydra. Notice that not worried about leveling, just doesn't need to. Right? We've seen that for most of the lobby. Vim goes to, who likes to make big boards. Is up there, and Sessise, who is able to with that Togwaggle massive heist we saw. Also, everyone else just chilling on 4.
Surprisingly close fight, actually. I thought this would be a runaway for the 6-0, but it's probably a loss now. Yeah, guaranteed, right, with the Death Rattle. Damn, close one.
Yeah, he's fine though, although again...
Yeah, it's okay. He can probably take one more loss in addition to this, given that he's relatively strong and probably won't get steamrolled. But I mean, if a Rim goes to, what even is this? Like, it was a Demon's board before, now transitioning over into...
Fellbat board. Fellbat in hand and Trickster in hand. He just raced to 6 and decided, what I get on the way I get there, and if I get to 6, I'm going to have something. And Fellbat, Trickster, looks all right to me.
Turboing his quest finally gets it done to play Dragons or Murlocs, and Alter Ego is his reward.
Which is kind of nice with the Fellbat, but it's not the best of rewards in general, but with the bat, it's going to be okay.
Okay, I like taking the Primal Fin to try and find Toxfin. Misses. But Tad could still give him a Hail Mary for it, you never know. Wants another minion type, ideally. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
That's what to go for. Ooh, 2 jugs available, should you so desire.
Yeah. The thing I always struggle with compared to the top players is just exactly when to take jugs, and the answer seems to be always.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, when you're buffing pretty key minions, specifically the Harvest Golem, not the Harvest Golem, the Foe Reaper, sorry, which is such a big difference maker.
Now, this is where the comp gets formed, exactly what he wants to do. He wants to get this Fellbat and Trickster down now, so he needs to decide what's getting sold. This is the point. Just not go with the Trickster, just not going to bother.
Yeah, I think the question was whether you go for like a reroll there to try and hit slightly better minions, but these look good enough, you know. You can hope for specifically even cost minions that have bigger stats, but that's far from guaranteed. Oh, Gas Coiler, okay. Huge Foe Reaper, that pickup making all the difference in this fight. I mean, maybe the big funnel would have been enough, but it's nice for future fights, if nothing else as well.
Yeah, see why he didn't want the Trickster. It's looking fine anyway. Probably too late as well. It's turn 10. Trickster starts with 0 buffs. There's no, you've got the Alter Ego, but you haven't got anything huge in the shot buffing yet, I guess. It would have taken a while to get to a sensible level. Then you've got to give it Taunt or whatever.
Hey, Alex with double Divine Shield Taragosa. That's nice, of course, but very limited synergy with this Trickster with no Parasol, no Parrot, no Baron Rivendare either. It's going to be difficult to scale that into a winning composition as opposed to just a high tempo play. Whereas say here, what on earth is happening with this board? Golden Reef Explorer with Bran. This is infinity value.
It is, but also, where's it going? Well, actually, where it's going is there's no bigger buster in the shop. Okay, I'm happier now. He's spent a couple of turns getting to 6 with the board that would get there. I was a little bit scared for a minute that, yeah, this is infinite value, what you're going to do. But yeah, with that Omega Buster waiting at the end of the line, it's going to be absolutely fine to have all this value.
How many does he get? 4 minions discovered here? Yeah, okay.
Not really finding what he wants. He wants more busters.
Yeah, busters, but you'll take a Mantid, methinks.
You can use the War Gear here to make sure he gets the thing he wants to be the biggest as the biggest.
Oh, true.
Twin.
Does that end up as Omega Buster? Probably not, yeah, okay.
You just get triple Dubry. What else do you get? To get 3 Death Rattled Deflectos, 3 Dubrys. Yeah, don't get it very often at all.
Doesn't have room for Evil Twin, though. Did he forget?
Yeah, he
forgot. Because he does now have a 3/4 Micro Mummy instead of a 19/14.
There's a lot of things on this board.
Yeah.
The Buster's kind of just lurking somewhere in the middle of the board.
That was
he just was throwing things around in a hurry there. Oh, it's all right. That's fine. Propped. Meant it all along. Look, you can tell from his face.
Yeah. All
played for and got, mate.
Oh, look at this reset he gets because thanks to the mummy.
Yeah, absolute setup.
All right, well, bailed out of that one, I suppose, as he's able to stay in this game for a turn longer. Every single point being a big difference, though, remember. As well, Zixo getting some nice big stats online now as well. Doesn't really matter which you pick here. We're all trash.
Yep. Chance of a giant triple mummy.
Amber Guardian number 2 is very interesting, though, with one already in play. Oh, and Golden Mummy, actually. Yeah, that's huge.
Chooses to sell off the Overseer and not the Mama, which is interesting. But this is more stats in the long run.
Missing out on the battle cry? Sure, yeah.
You just set it off and off you go and get big. Oh my goodness.
Getting really big, my lord. Yeah, that can go, that can go. And now let's find us Manted. Okay.
Yes?
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, I was just trying, my brain is now at the stage where anything that says buff on it, my brain's going, can it be done before you sell Omega Buster? No, you can't sell things in combat. Move on, carry on. Good talk.
I mean, you have 3 mechs to play. Like, Buster wasn't absurd, but I do think just the Manted.
Guardian will give the Divine Shield to the poisoned Amalgam. That's nice. All these little things that the top players make sure work. I'd just accidentally have 2 dragons in play here or something for no reason.
What we're looking for now to really upgrade this for Zixo is obviously a Noia module being number 1, I think, to give Divine Shield to this massive Micro Mummy and Taunt it as well, which is pretty relevant to guarantee it dies off for the Deflecto. And then I think just the usual suite of like Leroy's, maybe a Tunnel Blaster, more Mantids as well.
This might be dumb, right? But do you want to not give this Mummy Taunt so it can't be Leroy so easily?
Oh, maybe.
So huge, do you want to actually now sort of protect its hugeness?
That's an interesting point. Oh no, that poison is a disaster for Zixo.
He's going to die.
Oh!
Hit the bat. If you can hit the bat, is he alive?
50-50! Oh! He might have been dead anyway. Yeah, he was dead no matter what. Oh man! Zixo! That's a 7th again. He's tilted, man, and I mean, I can't blame him. Like, fair play to him. These have been some brutal games, and that was some bad luck.
It feels like he's tried everything as well. Like, he had the Wrecking issue, I'm not going to die early, I'm just going to come top 4, and then runs into the 2 lobby leaders when having a pretty decent health total and an okay tempo board, you know, sort of 5th place looking board. He's had a couple of really big high roll games like the one he's just had. He just run into the wrong thing at the wrong time. And yeah, he's having a terrible time of it today.
Yeah, just nothing working in his favor. All right, what are we looking to buff in? Nice big rat on the other side.
Big rat.
Real big rat, but honestly kind of a
the really, really big rat, Derek. It's
big
huge.
old rat. But a weird situation, right? There's nothing that's really working in your favor here. Like, do you give up some of the stats? Do you freeze a bad tavern? You just take the rat and let the rest of the stats go?
I see what you mean.
Kind of want the Leaper because it is a battle cry and you have 2 Kalagos on board, plus the Whelp trainer, obviously.
How about buy the Leaper, sell it, sell the Amalgam in hand that you're obviously hanging on to, but unlucky, I guess. Or sell the 615 and then freeze what's left.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. The freeze at the end, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, sure, okay.
Because you're only freezing, you're not spending a whole gold freezing this shop. You're spending a 1/3 of a gold freezing this shop.
Fair enough, yeah.
If it had gone the other way, if it had just been like 2 17-17s or whatever in the shop, maybe you let it go. That's still a lot of stats to waste with a bribe going on. But yeah, you're not wasting the stats on that rat.
Yeah. Man, trying to figure out how much wasting a 1/3 of a gold is beyond me. I'm not used to Imperial money.
Sorry. Is that another age joke? But yeah. He'll be back soon. We'll be okay. Oh yeah, so it's 2/5 of a gold, right? You're still getting half of a refresh.
Yes.
Right.
That farthing?
A farthing. Lucky bit.
All right, this time we see the giant Deflecto coming through on the Evil Twin, coming in clutch, as it should be enough to take the win here. Maybe a tie. Oh no, the Death Rat would be enough to guarantee a win. but not a kill, as Rimgosu is still just about hanging on in there. Kind of unclear. Wow, that's
How many bots are on that thing? Sorry, Derek, talking over you. It just kept going.
I mean, taking a look around, it's kind of unclear, unlike previous lobbies, who is the clear winner at this point, who is going to be taking down this lobby, as no player has like an obvious Elementals, Nagas, Exodia, obvious combo that's going to be taking them down the game. It's very scrappy here, much more quest dependent as well.
Yeah, which makes me wonder if Ribaposa on the Denathrius is going to have just enough to get there as this pans out, because with the bribe going on and the one that gives you a copy of the last minion,
right?
It's just going to have a lot of value and a lot of ongoing stats.
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly how he's got 2 golden amalgams right up until this point. Maybe he can get himself a golden Caligos, but I just feel like almost every combat, the amalgam is going to be the last thing that dies, given they're so big.
I'm not saying that he's favoured on anything other than having the best quest. Just having a quick look, make sure there's someone who hasn't got anything really crazy. So Alex is on red hand, as you can see here, which turn 14, you're not even going to have time to sort of get a Hydra and hold it in your hand for 3 turns and make it huge. You're just a little bit... Your work here is done with the red hand, I think. This is subtle dropping hints. With the twin, yeah, that's a good shout.
Big old twin, yeah. Hey, I mean, this is a decent board, right? It's not scaling at all, but it's a very high baseline power level.
Yeah, it's kind of with final form, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 minion types on the... Sorry, on the Mantid Queens as well. Both, like, honestly, it feels like a lot of players are kind of reaching that state where they're locked into their end game comp with no real or limited power to scale beyond that.
Yeah, so I just have that little battle cry going at 83 demon that's just been sitting there chugging along every turn.
Like, this isn't getting much bigger for Murloc Combs or for the Tess either. It's just kind of locked in as Poison, Divine Shield, Leroy nonsense, which, you know, the Poison's probably going to be beating the demons here, right? I don't think there's enough stuff on the other side to stand up against all this.
A Ribaposa reminder, only needing to get top 4 to get the lobby in check. Alex needing to win the lobby or come second. And
well, there we go.
There's Alex getting killed on this one.
Khorasan and Alex going down. Damn, all right. And Ribaposa surviving on 1! Oh, man.
Which gets him to the 20 points he needs.
That's so sick.
If Sottle, can you just flick away and back again? We've got a camera situation. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, Yun Chang. Look how he's getting on. Is Ribaposa back on now?
Taunt basically doing nothing. I mean, you could taunt up another one of your minions. I don't really know what it offers you, to be perfectly honest. It's more just a battle cry that you're playing here to further increase your stats. He's going in on another amalgam. All right, let's go. Come on.
To the Queen, just make it easy to get those shields.
Yeah, exactly. With 4 minion types in play, plus the... 5 now. You must be essentially guaranteed the Divine Shield.
Yeah, some good old stuff with this bribe.
Good old stuff.
I'm still looking at all these boards, wondering quite how Zixo lost every fight in a row for like 4 fights. Because he was pretty big himself, and nothing's murdery. I think he just, poisons went to the wrong place a couple of times and so on.
I mean, it was just lack of Divine Shields, I think, really.
Yeah.
Like, in such a poison-heavy lobby, Divine Shield-heavy lobby, he had so much stats, but the losing fight for him, his mummy got sniped by a tiny poison. If that exactly hadn't happened, he would have been able to stay in the game.
And he never picked
or if, as I said, if he got... Right, if he got Module or Cleave to buff up really big, he could have got there as well.
Yeah. Right, now at the end game state, the Leroys are starting to turn up. As you can see, people have stabilised. This is looking pretty big for Rimgosu here, actually. Remember, he got to 6 really early with just a whole comedy of cards.
Yeah, I mean, he's rapidly falling behind now with this much poison going around. Demons are not going to be stacking up well enough against this, even if he does have, like you say, a little bit of a hodgepodge of other stuff going on. it's not going to be standing up as Ribapusa stays in again, unable to knock out his opponent, but not going out quite yet. At this point, it really doesn't matter where he finishes from now on in. It's just about trying to deny the players who are close to him in the standings, right?
They're all denied. He is going to be on his own, putting the lobby in check, whatever happens here. Obviously, the points still matter in terms of who comes second, third, fourth, through to eighth. But the winner will be the person who wins while the lobby's in check. So if Ribapusa can get like a 20-point lead, a 5 or 10-point lead, guarantee that second place, give him even more comfort to just shoot for the moon.
Okay, more more poison to go alongside all this divine shield. Like, this is what you were initially telling me that I think I missed on the mirror, is that you can specifically go for this of getting a bunch of divine shields, a bunch of poisonous, which is super strong. Of course, this you are very, very happy to see. However, the one scary thing is that this is very vulnerable to tech, right? Because you have a lot of divine shields, a lot of poison. This is very strong. If they find a tunnel blaster specifically, though, the rest of your minions are just small statted divine shields, which are really going to be struggling against opposing mechs, opposing beasts, opposing any death rattle of any kind, because almost all of these get killed in one hit.
Yeah, you can see what he's doing to mitigate that, though, by leaving the Selfless in play.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if you take the Baron and hold. I wouldn't be surprised to see him put the second Selfless in play, or at least put the bird somewhere weird to try and trigger that Selfless.
Yeah, I do think this is a weird bird kind of game.
There we go.
Haunt as well is very valuable. And this placement is so weird.
Yeah, so he's placing this for Tunnel Blaster, but the bird's there in case there isn't a Tunnel Blaster.
Yeah, and he's playing around Cleave with that Baron positioning as well. Like, it's super funky, but I get what he's going for. Okay, good.
Because he knows he needs to high roll, right? Like, he's against Ribapusa, who's likely winning the lobby. You've got to go for the high roll positioning and hope things just keep hitting the right thing. Just remember that this will take Ribapusa over 20 points if he wins. But you have to win again then when you're over 20 points. It doesn't happen in one go like some quests do.
Right, yeah. I thought you were going to say for a second it was like darts, and if he goes over 20, he goes back down or something, which I was not aware of in the rules.
Needs to throw a double 6 to win, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 14 and just goes all the way back to 501 and starts again.
Unwinnable now for Yunchang with an unfortunate end, as it really looked like he was going to be able to get there, but this is the problem, right? These tiny divine shield minions, if you run into mechs with repeated divine shields, death rattles from beasts, it's too much as Rimgosu and Yunchang fall down, and Ribapusa is looking to potentially get that first place, whereas Se is currently at 12.5, so he is with a win, looking to get himself up to 19.5 points, as close as it's possible to get without being at that threshold.
And once again, we see Se doing it with, like, just stuff. It's a phrase that I've used a bit too much, but look at this. He's got lovely mantids because of the 2 amalgams with poison. Pretty much the best setup you can get of nothing, if that makes any sense. The best poison setup you get, lots of divine shields. Really nicely set up, but has done it all the way with whatever was available on the given turn. Survive one more turn, move on, improve, move on. Rather than, hey, here's a comp I'm aiming for.
Whereas on the other side, significantly more in terms of stats. A decent amount of divine shieldage, but no selfless.
It's a very similar board, isn't it? Double poison,
Baron.
amalgam, double mantid queen, and the other 3 cards of your stuff.
Cleave's big, though. Cleave could be a big factor here, I think.
Yeah, removing 3 shields in one go is absolutely massive.
And even just this Meckerel, right? I always underestimate how clutch that can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
With there being 4, 5 minion types here on the board, both of these mantids are extremely likely to get Divine Shield.
Yeah, I really favour Ribapusa here, but I think that he's up against a pretty tough board. Just counting shields is just not going to add up in the favour, I don't think.
Very clutched Medina as well, though, here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that cleave taking out one of the poison amalgams, there was such a big difference. That's like 2 extra poison hits that he just completely deleted.
Look at the positioning here as well. So the shields are going to get procced on this side now.
Uh-huh. Okay, good hit for Say.
Trading idiot shot.
Oh no, that's such a bad hit for Riverpusa losing the Divine Shield like that. It means we're going to end up in a tie.
Probably going to
win
lose.
for
Depends if it behaves itself.
Oh, he loses, no shot. And Sesese with that taking another victory that I really didn't think he was going to do so. And I think that smile implies that he didn't think he was going to do it either. And he ends up on 19.5 points, Lorinda. That is so tantalizing. That's cruel.
He's going to be in the lobby. Anyone got half a point I can borrow? I'll pay you back tomorrow, I promise. Just half a point. That's all I need.
Oh man, gonna be thinking back, what could I have done to not tie, just finish last one more round in previous lobbies, as we do have now a very interesting situation. Only one player above that 20-point threshold, but Say clawing himself, I believe, into second place now in the best possible spot to enter their next turn. And now, for all of our players, it's time to really start looking for wins rather than just getting points.
Yeah, but also looking for wins, but making sure that you just make sure Riverpusa takes some damage along the way.
Sure.
Something that I think last Lobby Legends 4, players did it a little bit better, but most of the tournaments we've had, they have realised too late that they haven't paid attention to the leader. And they've noticed, you sort of get to the last 3 or 4 players and you see somebody look at the board and go, oh, we've lost. But it's too late by the time you look up. You've got to look up early, go, hey, who's going to beat us? Riverpusa, right. Tempo him all the way. I'm playing him next, tempo him. Especially if you can do it without cutting off your own chance to get into check. It's obviously a balancing act.
It's going to be interesting to see how this one will shape out. Another lobby there where it feels like we were back to the good old quest reliance there, more so than a hardcore comp being able to get the job done. And that's generally what you're going to be seeing. Like, it feels to me whenever poison is available and is jumped on, it's generally the strongest thing you can do, but it doesn't lead to a cohesive game plan quite so much, so the quests come into play a lot more. I don't know if that quite makes sense, whereas with the other way that you're going about it with a strong specific win condition like elementals or nagas, the quest doesn't have quite so much reliance on it. And I gotta say, I like these kind of games where the quests have a big importance, and it's a lot of Divine Shield, a lot of poison, there's a lot of techs you have access to where you can go for something like Tunnel Blaster, but then it's going to be counteracting your own Divine Shields, which can be very scary. You can go for the Cleave, as we saw there, coming in super clutch for Riverpusa, almost able to give him the win. It's just such intricate dynamics, and the smallest difference can lead to a win or a loss, I feel.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing as well is there's 2 tiers of heroes. There's Gallywix, Millhouse, Cookie, a couple of others that just go, okay, I don't necessarily need the quest, but that'd be great, thanks. And then there's all the others which go, okay, I have to use the quest. So last lobby in particular was very heavy in sort of gold cheating heroes, where we had the lobby where the quests were ignored, whereas this time around, not so much. At least not on the massive scale. Obviously, Murloc Holmes does cheat some gold, and so you have to rely on the quest to level things up. And I wonder if that will be a thing we see going forward. But there is that leaderboard, Derek. Riverpusa, as we've talked about, worst position, 4th place in those first 4 lobbies.
And Alicia Sand, the real heartbreaker of this lobby, with so close. A first, a second, a 4th as well, or a joint 3rd, I suppose, at the time. Oh, sorry, it was a 4th. Almost being able to get through to the 20-point threshold, but just taking a disastrous last place to end up outside of it. With, I think, Alicia and Zixo ending up the saddest players out of all of that, as that was just another disastrous lobby. For Zixo, through no real fault of his own. I really liked the strategy he was going for again. It felt like Rack and Issue last time, Anima Bribe this time. 2 back-to-back strategies that are like you to get a top 4 finish. But they just didn't. He just got some unlucky hits, some unlucky opponents, and just couldn't make it work because of his lack of Divine Shields.
Yeah, and he has to go for wins. And I know that's sort of stating the obvious, but the way the numbers work out, he needs 2 first places just to get the lobby in check going into lobby 7. And for scale, of the 4 we've had so far, Lobby Legends, only 1 of them has gone to lobby 7 at all.
Wow.
So really is a case of he needs to win those 2 now, stop people from winning it because he's won them, and then get to lobby 7 with the lobby in check himself.
All right, with that said and done, we are going to go to a break before we come back to potentially the final game of the weekend, if we can see Ruvapusa taking the win. But more likely, it's going to be going for a couple more. So don't go anywhere. We are reaching the finale of Lobby Legends Magic of Azeroth very soon.